I do want to ask you a heavy question. During the pandemic, there's been a lot of, I would say, coverage on the, some of the mishaps that were going on towards the Asian community.
Yeah.
What are your feelings towards that as an Asian commercial real estate professional, and how did you and your family deal with that?
I mean, just outside of just being an Asian American professional in the commercial real estate industry, just as an Asian American in general, it's one of the shockingly when I tell people this and when they ask me about my feelings about all of this is that this has been happening for a very long time.
Right.
And just so happens that it didn't happen at the volume that it was happening in a short period of time, where there was actual news coverage. But there's been attacks like this throughout the country for years now. It's incredibly unfortunate. I think how the media had spun COVID in a way, and past politics have kind of pointed a singular finger at one group of individuals.
Right.
And the Asian community has been incredibly affected by kind of the violence against them, the racism, things like that. My parents experienced it themselves, not during the pandemic, but they experienced it when they were in the States. I've experienced it. I think the only positive thing that came out of this was that there is recognition that this type of violence and racism exists.
Yeah.
And now it's an opportunity to correct that.
Yes, sir.
And that's not through violence. It's not an eye for an eye. It's education. It's being able to have these type of conversations.
Right.
Because people tend to point fingers, and let's put our hands down and let's just chat.
Yeah.
And figure out what are the differences, if there are any, and more importantly, what are the commonalities.
Right. No, that's a great point, man. Let's pause, let that breathe, because that was heavy.
Yeah.
That was heavy, man. And I'm a big supporter of the Asian community, obviously, right? And my heart was broken when those things were happening. And to your point, it's shown a light on things that's been going on in the Asian community for decades. You know, just there wasn't that much light on it as you would say, like in the Black community, right? And the pandemic kind of showed a light, but thankfully we're getting past it, hopefully. And
hopefully.
having people like yourself on this platform helps with that representation and exposure.